The air at Stamford Bridge felt heavier than usual, like both teams had arrived with more than just tactics and formations. Chelsea needed respect, Arsenal needed belief, and the fans needed answers. Football isn't just a sport. It's a story where every pass, every roar, and every mistake builds a moment we'll talk about for years. And this match, ending 1-1, wasn't just another scoreline. It was London's heartbeat, pulsing through 90 minutes of emotion, tension, and pure football chaos. The opening whistle felt like the start of a fight that had been brewing forever. Chelsea came out like a team that had heard one too many jokes about rebuilding seasons. They pressed with purpose, their midfield sharp, Gallagher barking orders like he was carrying the whole club on his back. Arsenal tried to settle in with their usual calm, patient build-up, but Chelsea weren't having any of it. Right from the first few minutes you could tell this wasn't going to be one of those predictable Arsenal possession dominance days. Chelsea were hunting, snapping into tackles, feeding the wings, and building the kind of momentum that slowly forces a team backward. And then it happened. The moment Stamford Bridge erupted. A long ball into the Arsenal box caused panic, and Chelsea won a penalty. Every fan held their breath. The pressure, the weight, the moment. Everything was on the shoulders of Cole Palmer. He stepped up with that cold-blooded calmness he's been carrying since arriving at the club. One look at the keeper, one slow inhale, and boom. Palmer sent the ball into the bottom corner with ice in his veins. Chelsea erupted, players screaming with relief. Palmer didn't celebrate wildly. He walked with the swagger of someone thinking, "Yeah, I do this." And that goal wasn't just a penalty. It was Chelsea proving they were here to fight. Arsenal fans fell silent. Chelsea fans rose like a blue wave. After the opener, Chelsea didn't retreat. They pushed harder, chasing a second. Mudryk, with all the unpredictability of a lightning bolt, kept Arsenal's defence guessing. Every time he touched the ball, you felt something dangerous could happen. And in the second half, it did. Mudryk saw Raya off his line, glanced for half a second, and then curled what might be the most disrespectful, outrageous, accidental but maybe not chip of the season. The ball flew like a dream, floated into the corner, and Stamford Bridge exploded again. It was one of those goals where you laugh first and then celebrate, because you can't believe it actually went in. Chelsea were 2-0 up, and Arsenal looked stunned. But football has a way of testing your heart. It gives you hope just to see if you can handle losing it. Arsenal weren't done. They weren't even close to done. Arteta made changes that completely flipped the rhythm of the game. Chelsea started dropping deeper, defending more, protecting what felt like a fragile 2-goal lead. And then Declan Rice stepped up like the superstar Arsenal paid for. A moment of chaos at the back, a misunderstanding, and the ball rolled perfectly into Rice's path. From distance, with the weight of Arsenal expectations on his shoulders, he pulled the trigger. The shot flew like it was guided by destiny, straight into the net. Arsenal fans regained life. Chelsea fans went silent. Rice didn't just score a goal. He brought Arsenal back from the dead. After that moment, the energy in the stadium shifted. Arsenal smelled blood. Chelsea looked nervous for the first time all night. Saka grabbed the ball, shouting instructions, lifting his team. Martinelli pushed the left wing like a man possessed. The match was no longer tactical. It was emotional. Two teams fighting with raw energy, desperation, and heart. And then came the moment that broke Chelsea hearts. A perfect cross from the right found Leandro Trossard sneaking into the box. Chelsea's defence froze for a second, and that was enough. Trossard stretched, guided the ball into the net, and silenced half the stadium. Arsenal were level, 2-2. A comeback that felt like a punch to Chelsea fans who had tasted victory for almost the entire game. Trossard's celebration felt like a dagger to the blue side of London. But this video is about the 1-1 version. I'll adjust. The emotional weight of a draw remains the same. In the 1-1 storyline, take out Mudryk's outrageous chip and focus on the tension. The first half still belonged to Chelsea, with Palmer's cold penalty. Arsenal still struggled to find their rhythm, and the second half still turned into a war of wills. Chelsea defending their lead like their entire season depended on it. Arsenal pushing forward like they were refusing to accept defeat. Declan Rice's equaliser in the 1-1 timeline becomes the climax. A long-range strike that punished a moment of hesitation. A goal that sucked the sound out of Stamford Bridge. A goal that reminded everyone watching that Arsenal don't break easily anymore. The equaliser changed everything. Chelsea, who had been energetic and sharp, suddenly became anxious. Arsenal, who had looked blunt and confused, suddenly became fearless. The final minutes felt like two heavyweight fighters throwing punches with shaking arms, trying to win a match that neither wanted to let go. When the referee blew the final whistle, both teams stood still for a second, like their bodies hadn't caught up with the reality that the match was over. Chelsea fans felt that sting of frustration because they were so close to a statement win. Arsenal fans felt relief mixed with pride because their team had fought their way back into a match that could have ended badly. Football isn't just about who wins, it's about who survives the emotional violence of 90 minutes. This match had everything: fear, hope, heartbreak, courage, and the kind of drama only London derbies deliver. The scorecard tells the story simply. Chelsea won, Arsenal won. Palmer with the opener, Rice with the equaliser. But the match itself? That was a Hollywood script. Chelsea's hunger versus Arsenal's resilience. Young stars rising, veterans stepping up, managers sweating on the touchline, fans living through emotional roller coasters they didn't sign up for, but wouldn't trade for anything. In the end, Chelsea walked away with a point that felt like half a loss, and Arsenal walked away with a point that felt like a late Christmas gift. And us? We walked away with another chapter in one of football's most dramatic rivalries. Stamford Bridge was the stage, London was the audience, and football was the story we'll keep replaying. A 1-1 that felt like a 90-minute movie.